You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours?
What happens when the greatest player of all time calls out an entire generation? Micheal Jordan didn't hold back when asked about load management, the practice of resting healthy players that's become the most destructive force in modern basketball. His answer?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove.
This is the story of how the NBA went from Iron Men playing through pain to millionaires sitting out because they don't feel like it, and why Micheal Jordan thinks it's killing the game he helped build. Let's start with some numbers that'll blow your mind. In the period from 1990 to 2000, a grand total of 58 players played all 82 games in a single season. 58 players. That number is simply absurd when you compare it to today. Looking at the data, every single year, with the most players completing full seasons came from the 80s, 90s, or 2000s. That right there is not a coincidence. Now, let's do the inverse and look at the least amount of players in a single season who played every game. First up, the fewest all time, 2022. Next up, 2023, 2025, 2024, and then 3 years from the late 2010. That right there tells you everything. Load management at its worst came in the 2020s. It's happening right now. But where it started was the mid to late 2010s Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Joel Embiid era.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
Micheal Jordan's rookie season perfectly exemplifies what the old standard looked like. That year, he played every single game, 82 of 82. He was one of 40 players to do so. His minutes per game, 38.3, which ranked fourth in the entire league. Total minutes played ranked third, behind only Buck Williams and Larry Bird. From day one, Micheal Jordan was an Iron Man in the NBA. And like I've said, playing every game back then was 10 times harder than doing it in this era with first-class flights, better medical staffs, better training, better everything. Jordan played all 82 games in 9 different seasons throughout his career, including one when he was 39 years old. He appeared in 80-plus games in 11 total seasons. During Chicago's second three-peat from 1995 to 1998, Jordan played every single game at ages 32, 33, and 34, totaling 295 games, including playoffs over 3 years.
I competed hard. I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. I played injured, and I played with a lot of pride.
But Jordan's most revealing moment about his mentality came when recounting his second season, when he was dealing with a broken foot. Chicago management didn't want him to play anymore, but Jordan put his foot down literally and figuratively.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit out? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
Even as a rookie, Jordan refused to sit. After twisting his ankle in a game, veteran teammate David Greenwood told him to come sit and rest. Jordan's response?
I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
One of the lost arts for a lot of NBA superstars nowadays is respecting the fans and respecting the game.
It was something that I felt like, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy.
Jordan understood this better than anyone. When asked if he really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch him play, Jordan didn't hesitate.
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me, and I want to shut him up. He's calling me all kinds of names. I definitely want to shut him up.
Right.
He elaborated on this philosophy.
You have a duty that if they're wanting to see you, and as an entertainer, I want to show, right? So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
That mentality defined an entire era. When Jordan was the face of the NBA, the ambassador of basketball, people were playing every single game more often than ever. In his era, the tone was set from the top. You play, you compete, you show up. Now, compare that to LeBron James, the face of the NBA. In the 2010s and 2020s, LeBron has only played all 82 games once in his entire 22-year career. Once. That compared to guys like Bird, Kobe, Duncan, even Allen Iverson, is pretty pathetic. And when you're the face of the NBA, you face much more scrutiny and pressure to perform every single night. More importantly, you set the tone for the entire league. When LeBron James rests games and sits out, you might say, not a big deal, only 1 game here, 2 games here, missed a week there. For a lot of players, that might be true. But when you're the face of the NBA, missing games and load managing trickles down to every player and every team. If you're an average star player, heck, even an average NBA player, and you see LeBron resting, you're going to say, the best player's resting, why can't I? When people like LeBron load manage, they make it acceptable for the rest of the NBA to do so and follow their lead. If he didn't, I can virtually guarantee the tone of the NBA would be much, much different. Here's what I simply do not get. These players nowadays, compared to the 80s, 90s, 60s, really every era prior to them, have the most advantages to be capable of playing every game. They have better travel, medicine, food, everything you could imagine. But despite that, they're playing fewer games, fewer minutes, and resting more. NBA teams in the 90s had just a trainer and a strength coach. They practiced more often and harder, and played more back-to-backs. Teams now have huge medical and performance staffs and value rest over practice. Yet injuries and games missed are way up. Something's not working. And here's the kicker. An NBA study found no correlation between load management and reduced injury risk. None. The practice that's supposedly protecting players isn't actually preventing injuries at all.
We can't have a guy making $95 million saying, I can't play basketball 4 days a week. And actually, in fairness, most teams play 3 games a week, but let's say hypothetically you play 4 games. You can't ask fans to pay that money for a guy making $95 million won't play back-to-back games.
Micheal Jordan identified the root cause of this shift in a conversation about modern players, getting massive contracts before proving themselves.
Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning.
Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnsons, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley's, we earned what we got. When the corporate America came to us, we had a game that could validate their admiration
and sponsorship and all that, yeah.
Now they get that before they play 1 game.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice to see if this kid's ever going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're paying the kid off of potential.
Yeah.
That he may be great.
You don't think that's good?
No, because I think it sets bad work ethic. When you get something so easily, you're not going to work as hard.
To make a very quick comparison, look at Rocky III. At this point, Rocky was a champion on top. He was living large, and what happened? He got soft, took his foot off the gas, and got beat down by Clubber Lang. And it wasn't until he basically lost everything and had Apollo motivating him that he once again got the eye of the tiger and would compete at the highest level. Rocky III in a nutshell is the NBA's problem right now with load management. Look at someone like Ben Simmons. Once this guy got paid, he checked out. He was done. Adios. I made my money. Don't care about basketball. Ben Simmons is the absolute worst example of a star NBA player. A lot of guys aren't that bad, but their overall mindset is still there. You know, I might play bad, I might not play at all. At the end of the day, I still have my money. My big-time problem with load management is this. If guys in the 70s, 80s, and 2000s could play every single game more often, why are you in a quote-unquote better, more evolved era not also doing that? The answer might actually be pretty simple. Like I said earlier, nowadays players have it easier than ever, and that right there might be the problem. For a lot of newer NBA fans who started watching in the 2020s, they think load management is part of the game, built into the game, and should be accepted. I reject it wholesale. It should not be accepted. It should be rejected emphatically by everyone. Even for me,
I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of management. It's hurting the game.
You can look at past superstar players, guys who built the NBA. They played as often as possible. They played through injuries and still routinely played every single game. Yes, injuries happened. Guys sat out because they were actually hurt. But very, very rarely did guys tank games on purpose and load manage prior to the 2010s. And look at the data, it backs it up completely. Star players missed an average of 10.6 games per season compared to 23.9 games in the 2020s, more than double. When it comes to someone like Jordan, as the face of the NBA, his mentality and attitude and appreciation for the fans defined what they brought to the game. It wasn't just about skill, talent, or ability. Why Michael Jordan is so important, why he resonates, is his mindset.
What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, you know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
It might not be in the team's best interest, in your best interest, to play all 82. Is that something you thought about at all since you made the goal?
That's a goal, but we'll see.
That right there is the difference in mentality between eras. When someone says past players, past stars were simply built different, honestly, it might be true. Looking at that list, 7 separate times in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s we had 50-plus players play every single game. In the 2020s, we can barely get 5.
What is it, load management?
Yeah, right.
Like, can you imagine somebody telling me, we gonna rest you tonight? What do you mean rest me? It's a game.
Or you coming into the season and going like this, I got 82 games, count on me missing 20.
No.
The most revealing moment came when Jordan recounted playoffs. He had missed 64 games that season with a broken foot. Chicago management didn't want him to play anymore, but Jordan demanded to return. They agreed but wanted to limit his minutes. However, with 30 seconds to go in a game against Indiana and the outcome on the line, management tried to keep him on the bench. Jordan wanted to play. The crowd howled, and Michael Jordan put his foot down, saying to the Chicago Bulls management, "I'm going to play basketball. That's what I am, a basketball player." Management had to back down, and Jordan played. As the announcer said at the time, one of the great tributes to integrity and credibility in this sport is on the shoulders of Michael Jordan. If you ask me why NBC brought Michael Jordan back as an analyst, it's pretty simple. They want Michael Jordan to come in and very subtly change the tone of the entire NBA. Michael Jordan still has more power than LeBron James and even Commissioner Adam Silver. And if Jordan says guys should compete and play every game, that's going to resonate with everyone, and especially the fans. The NBA knows they have a problem. Ratings are down, fan engagement is dropping. People are tired of paying premium prices to see stars sit on the bench in street clothes. They need someone with the credibility and respect to call it out. And there's no one more qualified than the man who played all 82 games 9 times, who competed on one leg for an entire season, who refused to rest even as a rookie trying to make a name for himself. For someone like Michael Jordan, who had the skill, talent, and ability to dominate, why this guy is so important isn't because of any of that. Why Michael Jordan is so important, why he resonates, is his mindset and his attitude and appreciation for the fans and what they bring to the game. Playing every game in Jordan's era was much, much harder than doing it in this era, with first-class flights, better medical staffs, better training, better everything. Athletes are supposedly better than ever. The pace of the game is a track meet, so why are modern players resting more? The answer is simple: they can. They get paid regardless. The hunger isn't there. The appreciation for the opportunity isn't there. The respect for fans who work all week to afford a ticket isn't there. I owe everything to the NBA, Jordan said simply. What is it? Load management? Like, can you imagine? No, Michael. Most of us can't imagine. Because we watched you play hurt, play tired, play every single night for 15 years. We watched you refuse to sit out even when management begged you to. We watched you honor the game and the fans who made you a legend. Load management is the most destructive force in modern basketball. It's making the game unwatchable for casual fans. disrespectful to diehards who pay their hard-earned money, and it's creating a generation of soft players who value comfort over competition. And if anyone can change that culture, it's the man who proved night after night, season after season, that greatness requires showing up every single time.